You got what I need. And they say the pod's just a friend. And they say the pod's just a friend. Oh, Jordan,
You
on this
got
podcast.
what I need.
I'm gonna stop there. But I think I'm gonna start with the musical parodies because that's what I do in real life, and I think as we peel the onions back, the people need to know that. But Summer Teacher, Unhinged, making songs, Biz Marquee, Fly Shields Fly podcast. You want to come on? You want to collab? We can do that.
We got space. We got space in the studio.
I got a cat sneezing. All right, she's good. Sorry for the cat sneezing interruption. Welcome to the Fly Shields Fly podcast. We're back with one of our planned summer episodes to bridge the gap between the UFL season and the NFL season to keep you guys engaged, check up on our guys. Today we're going to hit the opening drive. Then we're going to hit the end of the obligatory end of the season report card, but we're not doing it in a boring way. We're going to do a report card draft. Okay, so we're going to figure out who's going to go first. Me and Jay are going to go back and forth. We're going to assign an A, B, C, D. We're going to skip E, go straight to F. We cannot give out the same grade twice. We cannot give a grade out to this. We cannot each give a grade out to the same individual or person or more. That's kind of the creativity of this report card draft. And then we'll hit the final whistle. Before we start, we're doing this report card draft probably when the preseason comes around. We'll do a check-in on how our defenders are doing on NFL rosters. That is a plan for us. And then as we get through the season, we'll do a check-in on our defenders in the league. And then after that, we're going to do a keeper episode where we are going to pretend to be the GMs and we are going to decide who we would keep to protect from the UFL expansion draft. That's
The content's not done. The content runneth over.
I didn't run any of that by you before this, Jay, but I think you trust me on that regard with the.
I thought we did talk about all that. It feels so right. I assume we had a conversation.
A brief.
But maybe that's just us being in simpatico.
We are simpatico, which means what, on the same page of the same kind nature. Linked.
Oh yeah, nailed it. Are you Webster?
No, to be honest with you, I've just been saying it a bunch to children and adults in the classroom, and I didn't really know what it meant. So I knew simpatico meant nice in Espanol, but I wanted to know where the expression came from. So maybe I did utilize Webster and or AI and or both.
All right, don't forget Miriam.
So, all right.
All right, let's get into it.
Opening drive. Recapping the Fan Fest.
What a time.
It really was. So me and Jay I had a friend come into town for the Fan Fest last week. I went to the Fan Fest. Jay lives close by. He walked over to meet us for dinner and drinks. And it just organically hit. It was like, what if we filmed content for the pod just at the FIFA Fan Fest? Like, I'll wear my brand new Derek Roberson jersey. We'll get to that later. And I'll probably look ridiculous. And we'll talk to some people about football. And then we'll talk to some people about American football, specifically American spring football, and try to get some more people with their shields up. And Jay, I think we succeeded in that endeavor when we went last week.
100% couldn't agree more. We had people giving the shields up. We had people giving the show shields up, mics down. We had people learning about the UFL. We had a professor who knew all about the UFL from down in Washington, D.C. We met bachelor parties. We met people from Norway. We met Japan fans, South Korean fans. We met. It was really cool. And for me, like, I live right by Lemon Hill where FanFest is. I am there all the time. I once found my dog there. I found a stray dog there that I brought into my home.
I forgot that's where it was.
Love of my life, Nola. So yeah, Lemon Hill is like part of my home. And to walk in there during FanFest and see it all fan-fested with thousands of people, everyone there watching the football, soccer. It was transformative, honestly. Like, it was a transformative experience. You saw the shock and the awe on my face when we walked in there. Um, Unforgettable time, and I can't wait to go back again for the round of 32. It was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I was gonna say as a friend, it was my highlight to just watch you like it was like a movie watching you walk into this landscape that was previously so familiar to you, and you were in such awe, like a kid in the giant Toys R Us in Times Square. I don't know why that came to my mind. You ever go to that Times Square
That
in Times
legendary,
had the
legendary. I went there as like a teenager, like well into my teen years, and it was still cool as hell.
it's like my 10th or 11th birthday. I was like,
Oh,
I
what
don't know
a
if you
prime time to be there.
I don't know if you remember Bionicles.
Nah,
They're I don't even know how to describe them. It like wasn't quite Halo, but it was like it wasn't quite Transformers. I would describe it as a Transformers meets Halo, but
okay,
like
okay,
Legos, and you build these people. And I loved Bionicles, and I was like, I'm gonna go. That I heard they had a giant Bionicle person, like bigger than me, and then they had like a T-Rex for Jurassic Park, and then they had
yep.
so yeah. I remember going there at 10 or 11, and I was like blown away.
That's a prime time to go. 10 or 11 is like maybe the most perfect age to be in that giant Times Square Toys R Us. Rest in peace, right? Like all Toys R Us are gone now.
I feel like they're back.
No
Uh,
way.
Let's
No
revisit
way.
this. We'll keep that for the Red Eye sponsored
Producer
by
Dewey,
Together.
check on that. We'll have
Yeah,
producer Dewey check
producer.
on that.
Yeah, Dewey, and then I'm not going to trust Nugget with anything over here. Um, so yeah,
What were your takeaways from FanFest?
so we went for the Norway.
Well, yeah, we went for a game that was 27 hours away.
Yeah, glad you understood what I was talking about as soon as I laughed. So we went for initially the Norway France match, which was a big matchup. I mean, I'm not a soccer guy, but I've been loving this World Cup. You have Holland from Norway and Mbappe from France, so heavy hitters. It was a great crowd. But I was convinced. I was like, Jay, we need to get there by 3 because I want to do interviews before 5 o'clock. England plays at 5. I want to watch England. Like that's my de facto national team because my ethnicity is English. My last name's of English descent, and my alarm went off at 4:55. Like, yo, let's get ready to watch this game, and then we realized it was the next day. So that
Well,
was
we
kind of
realized everyone was leaving. Like everyone
yeah.
was
Why
just
are people
like
leaving? England games on. Where are you guys going? Like England's playing. We got Harry Kane. We got Jude Bellingham. These are guys that I follow religiously. Not at all, but um, yeah.
but the
So
game was the next day.
next day,
So very punctual on your part, a little too punctual on your part. But even though we didn't catch the England game that day because it was played the next, it was a ton of fun seeing how much fanhood was there,
yeah,
and also seeing like everyone just buy into it. There were some people who were huge football fans. There were people who were not. There were people there rooting for their country. There were people there dressed in their country's jerseys, even if their country wasn't playing that day. It was just like a really once in a lifetime type of experience for sure.
yeah,
So if you have not made it out and there is a fan fest in your city,
yeah.
around your city, make it a point. We're already into the round of 32, so the World Cup's going to be over before you know it. I think it's 12 days from today
There is
before
one
it ends.
there. I believe there is a. Even though there's no games in DC, there is a fan fest. I do believe on the mall.
That makes sense.
There was at least last week. So I don't know if it was like a special thing for. Um,
Whenever the U.S. plays.
Shout out my college quarterback's little bro, my pseudo little bro Peyton on LP Bullen on Instagram, been putting out great World Cup Fan Fest content in DC. You got and some great food content. Guy
Ooh, all right.
is an awesome spirit, and awesome energy, and awesome personality. He's doing his thing. Um, I do want to say, you asked me my takeaway. I think a takeaway I have, Jay, and I think you'd agree, is the way that this Fan Fest or this World Cup, or if you want to call it soccer or football in general, has brought people together. So we had the one guy's bachelor party, who we're going to tap in with later. We had a group of guys that were on, they're like 45-year-old men, that group of friends from high school, from college, that were on a World Cup crawl. They
Yeah.
started in Boston at Foxborough, and they've made their way down the coast to different World Cup games and different World Cup fan fests. You had that professor from GW who's an expert in large events. I wish we would have tapped in more with her about that, but we were stimulated. And with her meeting with her teacher friend from Bristol, who we played against before.
Yeah.
Had the college roommates and friends from Drexel. We had someone coming from Norway. We had a woman bringing her family. Just thinking about lifelong friends, college friends, bachelor party friends, international travel, just a day out for the family. We happened to come across all of these different people just in 6 conversations, and I thought that it's cool that this one event has brought all those different groups together. I mean, even us coming together to go to it. Like, you look around, people are gathered, and they're all gathered for different reasons, and I think that's a powerful thing.
Yeah, man. So we gave out some stickers. We shot some content. Check out the Instagram page, Fly Shields Fly on IG. Yeah, man. Great time.
Check out
Not our football, but definitely fun watching football.
say it's not your football. I look pretty good,
You did have a couple one touches.
and then
Couple one touches in the circle.
I got cocky. I think it's also like our version of Deflategate, because that ball was a little deflated. It allowed me to be a little.
Blaming the ball. Blaming the ball.
No,
No accountability.
No, I'm saying it helped me.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
A little easier.
Performance enhancing inflation. PE. All right,
Tom was on to something.
let's hit the report card draft. Jordan. All right, so to recap the rules, we have an A, a B, a C, a D, and an F to give out. Once you give that letter grade out, you cannot give it out again. Once I give someone or something a grade, you cannot give
that same thing.
thing
any grade at all.
Or if you want to maybe add some nuance to it, you could. Like, if you wanted to.
I can give comments on your grade, but I can't reuse your grader or your grade.
Yeah, let's say if I give
let's do it.
Jordan Holbert a B, you can't
You
give
would
Jordan
never.
Holbert a B.
Would never.
Anyway, so
straight A student over here.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and be a gentleman about this, and I'm just gonna let you go first, and I'm just gonna hope and pray that you don't take my first thing.
Are we starting at A or are we starting at F?
You can do whatever you want. Should we go in order? Yeah, let's go in order. Let's go top down.
Top down.
Bottom up.
I want to go bottom up. I want to end on a high note.
I don't know. Let's get spicy. What do you think?
I think we start F and go up to A.
I don't know. That's like so nice.
You want to go A through F?
Yeah, I kind of want to go A through
All right, if we're going A through F, I'm going to be the gentleman and let you go first.
You can't.
I don't think you've got my A.
You can't give me what I want and then also give me the first pick. You just I don't even
I just did it. You're up.
So
you're on the clock.
F first.
You're on the clock. Clock's running.
All right, we're on F first?
Yep. The pick is in.
My F.
No, we're on A first.
Oh, we're A first. Okay, so I'm going first, but you get what you want. Okay. It's a compromise. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right. My A, and this is probably my most conventional answer, but I believe in a slam dunk if the opportunity arises, unlike Ben Simmons against the Hawks.
Oof.
Yikes. Right there, prime.
Ben Simmons getting a stray for no reason.
Yeah, from the Fly Shields Fly podcast, Ben Simmons catching a stray. Fishing champion. Derek Roberson is my A grade. Derek Roberson gets my A. He's the first person I thought of. He's the only person I thought of. All UFL. MVP finalist. 9 games, 40 tackles. 9 tackles for loss. 7 sacks. 2 forced fumbles. 1 pass defended. But, Jordan, it was always the intangibles. Derek Roberson. I don't believe in the eye test fully, but I believe in the eye test with Derek Roberson. The way he plays the game is a coach's dream. 100% of the time, every snap, from the whistle to the echo of the whistle, my man is playing no matter what side of the field the ball's running to. He's following his rules. He is playing
Yep.
with purpose. He is playing with physicality. Not only did Derek Roberson put up the numbers, this man impacted the game. When our fearless leader on offense went down, he rose like some sort of like Deadpool anti-hero.
Oof. All right.
Wolverine, if you will, whatever you want to call it. Well, that's like kind of like Brian Dawkins. But our version of Weapon X, Derek Roberson gets my A. It's a slam freaking dunk. Jack the Plumber got the MVP award, but we all know Derek Roberson is the UFL's MVP. My
The
A grade,
dude.
Derek Roberson, number 50.
The dude, Derek Roberson. That's hard to argue against, so I'm not even going to bother trying to. I support that A grade. My A grade goes to friend of the show, guest of the show, Coach Keiss. Coach Keiss called, he started the team off hot. We lost the first one, right? And ever from that point on to the halfway point of the season, it was lights out. Averaging what, 38 plus points a game in the first half. Putting up all types of numbers, getting the ball spread around to, on average, 6 or 7 receivers each game, rushing for 200 plus yards per game. Even when we got on that 0-4 streak, it wasn't for a lack of yardage and a lack of moving the ball. It was too many turnovers, right? It was having new players in positions after Teamu went out that led to turnovers that led to the losses. It wasn't an ineffective game plan. There were games, 2 of those 4 games that we had on that losing streak, we had over 200 yards rushing and 170, maybe 175 yards passing in those games. That's with 1, 2, 3 different starting quarterbacks still putting up numbers like that. So I'm giving Coach Keiss an easy A. He was contemplating retirement after last year's championship, came back, gave it an incredible showing, had the offense clicking on all cylinders when he had his guy that he designed the offense around, was able to plug and play quarterbacks as needed to get all the way to the championship game. Coach Keiss, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for imparting your ball knowledge on us. And thanks for the work that you did this season. If you decide to hang it up, just know that you did it knowing that you are one of the greatest of all time in spring football, HBCU football. If this was the final go for you, Coach Keiss, I just want you to have these flowers. A+ grade.
And listen, I'm protective of our dynamic and our relationship, but there is a third seat for Coach Keiss if he wants to join the podcast.
Anytime.
No, like
Dead ass.
permanently.
Yes. Dead ass. Coach, if you're listening, just know that's real.
We're a pro Coach Keiss podcast, which is crazy because game 1, when we were so lukewarm against the battle,
oh, God. Oh.
The Blackhawks from Seattle. I was critical of Coach Keiss week 1. Must have listened because he was off to the races. I have something similar slated later in my list for Coach Keiss specifically. Not the man, but his pulling of
Myth.
shoes.
The legend.
Yeah. So you're not going to catch me talking bad on Coach Keiss. So now, okay, so in the snake draft system, now you would go first for B.
Oh, this is a snake. I wasn't aware this was a snake draft.
Snake draft, yeah.
Snake draft. All right. My B is the QB room resiliency.
Oh, my God.
You hate me. Did I take your B? Did I do it?
You took my B.
Ha! Boom! Down goes your battleship.
I was literally saying you sunk my battleship.
Yeah, I did it.
Without any
I did it.
You just hit it.
Yep. Right in the middle of the ocean. I mean, it really was. We were, at one point, we were at abyss with the QB room.
Oh my God,
We had everything that you wanted in Jordan Teamu. We had the big, tall, strong arm quarterback who could move when necessary, but always kept his eyes downfield. Again, 7 targets, 7 different receivers targeted most games. The ball was moving to the tight ends, to the receivers, to the running backs. It was on time. The offense was scheduled. Never really behind schedule after that loss to Seattle. Um, and then things fell apart when Jordan Teamu got hurt, and that could have sunk the team the way that I sunk Coach Morris's battleship. It could have derailed the entire offense. It didn't. It could have kept us from making the playoffs. It didn't. It could have kept us out of the championship game, and it didn't. We were competitive all the way throughout, even during the losing streak when we were trying to figure out who was the right guy, who can lead this team as close to the level as being led with Jordan Teamu. And the reason I say the QB room resiliency is that every guy stood up when it was his chance and made the most of his abilities in the opportunity. And the guys around him were always supportive, right? We don't get to see everything, right? We don't get to see everything that happens down in Arlington on a week to week basis. We don't get to see all the behind the scenes of the DC Defenders, but we got to see a pretty good glimpse. One, because the UFL does a great job of capturing the moments, but also you were on the sideline. You were on the field when Teamu was talking about how excited he was for the guys. You were on the field when they were warming up and prepping for that game. You saw all of that live and with your own eyes. And we all got to see throughout the season that these guys loved playing with each other, whoever was QB1. So the resiliency in that QB room to overcome that terrible injury for JT and make it to the championship game, got to give him a B. Would have been my A if we had won the championship. I'm not gonna lie.
So, a couple comments. One, like, yes, that was my B. I specifically wanted to address, I like quite literally resilience of QB room, but I also connected Coach Keiss with that, Coach Keiss's
Okay.
management of that. Um, because something you named without naming is that we played 4 different quarterbacks this year. We played 4 different quarterbacks,
Yo, in
and
10
we're
games.
30 minutes away from a UFL championship.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. So, to rage bait you, I ask you, is it Belichick or Brady? Is it Keiss or Teamu?
Mm.
I ask you again. Yes, obviously, like we could say that the defenders would have ran away with it with Teamu, but to knock on the door with 4 quarterbacks, I just
Listen, I think that every quarterback to ever play the game is a systems quarterback.
oh,
If your quarterback isn't in the right system,
that's such a hot take, but I love it.
if your quarterback's in the wrong system, he's not going to be a great quarterback. Right? So there's certain intangibles that a player like Lamar Jackson or
You say
Pat
that Patrick
Mahomes,
Mahomes went to the Browns.
dog, he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not.
Yeah, he might just be Johnny Football. Couple
Might just be.
Texas guys going to
Might
Cleveland.
just be, you know? So I think that is a loaded question. You knew it was going to be rage bait for me. Um, but I think the system matters as much, if not more, than the player. So I'm going to go with Coach Keiss.
In the pros, I think that that's more so the case, and depending on level of college. All right, that's fair. So now my second and third choices for this, I think I'm just going to take an abstract approach. The resilience of the non-quarterback offensive position rooms,
Okay.
or maybe I'll
The
say,
adaptability.
or adaptability, or I'll say balance.
Okay.
Favorite thing. So let's talk about the running back room. You have Xavier Valade, you have Deion Jackson, you have Abram Smith. Every week it was somebody else, but we still we're running the crap out of the ball. There was a week or two where we were struggling to do that. Coach Geis gets back to the lab, and somebody else pops one off. So just that three-headed monster of a running game. You alluded to it earlier with the wide receiver room. You have a 6, 7, 8-headed monster there with Kiki Cutie, with Cornell Powell, with Braylon Sanders, with Ty Scott, with Eric Easy Azukama. Who am I missing? Mason Fairchild, with Briley Moore. Who am I missing?
Dogs. It's a lot. It's a lot of weapons.
Am I missing anybody else in the wide receiver room? I said QT, Powell, Azukama, Ty Scott.
Said Powell.
Yes, I think I said all the ones that were racking them
All
up.
right, now.
Okay.
That was, you named a lot of names. If you left anybody out, that's on you, not on me.
Yeah, that is on me. I'll recant later. And then the offensive line, like we had a lot of questions on them after week 1. Coach Braswell, to his credit, part of the Coach Kai's coaching tree, and just to be up right next to him when he was doing Indy pre-United Bowl, clearly, he was talking to fans right before the players ran over.
And disgusting.
I have no problem telling the listeners that in this morning of allergy season, my nose is running on camera, but I don't want that to be on the YouTube. I don't want.
Yeah, no, we're not going to put that. That part's going to be clipped, but we're back in.
You'd be surprised what high school students can find and screenshot. So I can't have that clipped for future use. But anyway, offensive line. We had an injury to arguably our best offensive lineman in Yasir Durant, but you have Michael Tarkin coming in. You have Jahari Branch. You have my boy Michael Mayetti. You have Tykeem Doss. You have Jalen Duncan. You have a medley of guys that stepped up to the plate, and we're really an unsung hero of the offense this season. Is the stability that they brought, despite some changes, and Coach Braswell brought. And I think I mentioned all 3 position groups, despite my biological difficulty.
All right, so your B goes to the offense at large, I guess, right?
Yes, the balance of the non-QB offensive groups, and I guess coaching, does that count? I don't know.
All right, we'll count it all.
Yeah,
count it all.
That offensive, non-QB offensive groups. That's my B.
All right, you're up on your C grade.
All right, so I got a couple here I can go with. Both are not going to be popular, but I think one of what I'm thinking of. The first thing I thought of is Captain number 7, Joe Wallace's leadership for my C grade. Obviously, you have a roster of between 42 and 50 players. You are voted one of 4 captains. A heck of a player. And it wasn't even that he because there were a couple times there was one time specifically I know that we thought he got a personal foul and they picked the flag up. He had that late hit right in front of me, the one that I was watching. But he's just always animated after the whistle in what I perceive as a negative way. And it comes back to, I love players that play with emotion. That is so important. But don't let yourself be emotional. Play with emotion because you're dictating the terms. You're able to regulate yourself when the play's back or when you're lining up for the next play. Don't be emotional in a way that lasts and obstructs your contribution to the team, your preparation for the next play, and your example for the people that you're the captain of on the rest of the defensive side of the ball.
That's good coaching right there. That should be clipped and put into some coach training. Play with emotion, but don't play emotional.
Yeah,
I like that. Good stuff, Coach Morris.
Emotion's human. We're emotional, right? And we coach with emotion. I think we've grown a lot in that. I do believe that we coached emotionally, And I think
Oh, 100%.
that we've been able to recognize that and be able to coach with emotion and check ourselves or at times each other when it was getting too much. So again, and we all have our moments, right? Like Bryce Thompson's a great example of that. Bryce Thompson had a hiccup and then was locked down. He had a hiccup, he got benched, and he was a rock star
Yeah, he was.
of the season, right? Like we have our moments, but to me, I'm an onlooker. I was watching you on the TV. I was watching you when the drone cameras in between plays. I was watching you in person, and to me, that becomes a brand or that becomes a pattern of behavior that is just obvious to the fan. And I think, who knows, maybe not, but I encourage you as an example, not only for your teammates but also for the young people watching, to try to focus on regulating yourself a little more and play with emotion for sure. Don't lose that. Be yourself, but don't be
Love it.
emotional.
I love that.
So that's my C grade. And then what's your C grade? Because I think it might be my backup.
So C grades are tough for me. I really struggled with this one. What kind of student were you? Were you all A's, all B's,
I was quite literally like all B's. Like
all B's?
I showed up. I loved school. I did my homework. And I was just like B's. I was just a nice, good boy to have in class. I wasn't quite as charismatic as I am now. In college and grad school, I got better grades because I was more out of my shell and also could control and direct my own learning. That's my
All
assessment.
right. Okay.
If you're asking
All
as a
right.
cool kid,
So high school me was A's and B's with a few C's sprinkled in for some seasoning. Okay, those C's always came in classes that I didn't care much about. So psychology, history, English, A's. Current events, A's. Math, usually around a B. In geometry, in trig.
okay.
Calc, not so much. Calc was a bad grade for me, but that's a story for another time. The C's were the classes that I didn't really care about. Okay. And my C grade goes to a player who just kind of seemed like he had so much potential that he could have outkicked his coverage. But there were times where he just wasn't getting it between the lines. My C grade for this year is DC Defenders goes to our kicker, the first ever to make a 4-point field goal in the history of football. You got it for me, Mars? Who is it? Who's getting my C
That
grade?
was what it was simpatico. That's what I was saying. That was going to be
Who's getting my C grade?
my backup C grade is Matt McCrane's consistency.
Matt McCrane's inconsistency
There you go.
is what earns him the C grade. Because, my goodness, the man has a freaking cannon attached to his lower hip. He can boot it 60. He could probably make a 70-yard field goal in the right conditions.
My hips kick.
But missing 38 yarders, missing 35 yarders, hooking them left, slicing them right.
Yeah.
There were some of those games where we were right there in it, and 3 points would have made a whole different ball game out of the day. It's that inconsistency. I love that you can boot it from 60 plus yards out, but if you can't give me that guaranteed three, the 4 points is fun. The 4 points is a ton of fun, but we need those 3-pointers when we send you out there. So yeah, my C grade goes to Matt McCrane for the inconsistency.
Like baseball fans saying home runs are fun. Like home runs are awesome.
I really like grand slams.
Your batting average or your strikeout rate. We love
Yeah,
home
I mean
runs.
that's kind of what it felt like sometimes.
Ball
Like
goes
if he was
far.
going out for a 60-yarder, I was like, oh, that's going in. If he was going out for a 35-yarder, I was like,
No.
ooh,
Yeah,
I
wait.
don't know.
I just thought of something. Like, I don't have. When's the last time you went to an Eagles regular season game?
2 years ago.
Okay. Did you see a tush push live?
Yes.
Like, as you know, as offensive coaches and plugged in fans, when a team's on offense, you should be quiet. because you want your offense to be able to focus. But when the Eagles would run the tush push, the most primal, guttural sounds out of the 67,000 plus in that stadium, including myself, to where like just foaming at the mouth when the Eagles would line up for a tush push. And I feel like that's how it feels. That's how
Yeah,
it felt when Money Matt would line up for a 60-yard field goal. Like it would appeal to like our most primal instincts to just be like,
it's about to happen. It's about to. It
yeah,
happened again.
yeah.
But then
So
it just wasn't there for the shorter ones at
yeah,
times. Matt McCrane, if you're back in DC next year, I'm excited to root for you. The C grade is not indictment on you as a kicker, although it kind of is. I guess that's exactly what this C grade is. But if you're back, just up the consistency. And if you're in the NFL, blessings to you. Go knock down some 60 plus yarders. Again, you put yourself in the history books with the first ever 4-point field goal. You had a great season at parts, but I believe you got more left in that leg.
I will say too, like who knows? I mean, obviously he has an elite leg, like top 0.01% of the world leg. So maybe with NFL coaching or strength and conditioning coaches, like maybe there's something that's missing that hasn't been addressed, and maybe the right NFL team will fix that, and he'll flourish. He's not currently signed to an NFL roster, but I anticipate that he'll get a shot. And who knows? Maybe, like you said, maybe he'll end up in the right circumstance, and I could totally see him succeeding if that glitch is fixed to where he's not shanking the close range
Yeah.
goals. Maybe it's a difference of touch. Maybe I don't even know. I'm not a kicking coach. I feel like I could coach every position on the field, but definitely not kicker. So I'm not going to speak to that. But maybe there's a whisperer out there with the I don't know the Vikings or the Cardinals or I don't know who needs a kicker, but plenty of people probably. Who
Yeah.
knows?
There's there again, it's a crazy part of the game. It takes such a different skill set than everything else literally in football. Um but yeah, what's your we on the D grades?
You're D first.
My D grade. Oh no. Oh, if you guys didn't like that Matt McCrane C grade, you're not gonna like this Coach Harris D grade.
Ooh. You know what? I could see that based on our conversation.
So, and this isn't all game. I think that Coach Harris is incredible at a few things. One, he's a player's coach.
For
His
sure.
players love to play for him. Everybody who came on the show said it, Coach Keiss included. Um, he manages the locker room well, right? He knows ball, right? Like he knows how to get the most out of his players and his coaches. He knows how to put together a staff, a roster. He does so much well. I was letting that truck go by. He does so much well,
For dramatic effect.
but the time management, the strategy in end of game and end of half left me bewildered multiple times. I remember coming on the show with notes 3 out of the regular season games about what the heck. There was one where we ended up winning, and I was like, Coach, if we had lost that game, that decision to it was the what game was it when we had a 4th and 9 situation. We decided to kick a field goal knowing we needed more points anyway. We should have just gone for it because the next play we did was go for it on 4th and 12 to try to maintain possession in replacement of the onside kick. That was not a game we won, that was a game that we lost. We were down, I believe, 5, so we needed a touchdown. We took a field goal in a 4th and 9 situation just to give us a 4th and 12 that we didn't convert and end up losing the game. That was the first time I called into question what's up with the strategy, what's up with the management. Are they coming in and already having a plan for these type of situations so that you have a systems thinking process to go through where you can look down at your sheet if you need to. If X, then Y. If Y, then Z. If A, then B. Right? do you have that thought out ahead of time? Because to me, that's what lies with the head coach. Coach Kais has the offense, defensive coordinator has the defense, special teams coordinator has the special teams. Each room has their responsibilities given to them by the head coach, but the head coach has to be the strategy guy. The head coach has to be the guy that sees all the pieces on the board and moves them at the right times in the right directions. And there were just too many times throughout the season where it felt like Coach Harris wasn't moving the right pieces in the right directions at the right time, and especially in critical moments.
I don't disagree with you per se. I think a D grade is damning for the season for Coach Harris, considering he won the UFL championship last year and got back to the UFL championship this year despite all the hurdles. However, yes, the game management those last 4 weeks is enough to leave a maybe sour taste of lemon in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
And again, this is very specific to end of game, end of half strategy.
mm-hmm.
The majority of the minutes coached look great. What they're doing down in Arlington week to week, what they're doing pregame, what they're doing postgame, stuff is working. But there were obviously a few that I pointed out, and some others that other listeners and yourself can probably point to, where there was just a lot of questions raised.
Yeah, listen, I think the game management and the late game decisions and the crunch time button pushing and putting places and people in a position to win, I think is a worthy of criticism. Lord knows we've been criticized of it. So my D grade goes to, and follow me here, fan engagement disconnect.
Ooh.
Fan engagement disconnect. And by that, I mean that there is, and this is on both sides, there's a disconnect between fans and the defenders, whether it be the UFL brass, whether it be the local team in DC that's supposed to be advertising and promoting and bringing people in. We were really the example of what the UFL, formerly the XFL, could be. A MLS smaller soccer stadium, 20,000, pack it in, or at least mostly pack it. It's full, it's lively. We're not trying to do too much. You can't play, you can't put a spring team in Lincoln Financial Field with 67,000 seats. Even if you get 15, 20, it would look empty, right? So we were deemed, I think, based off reputation and by Rapoli, as the model for what a good UFL franchise and fan dynamic looks like. But being there in person and then watching on TV, and I know that I feel weird criticizing fan engagement because, like, I'm not there and I don't go every week. But we went from 13,000 in attendance to about 9,000 in attendance on average. That's a significant drop considering we just won the UFL championship. We continued to be good, and the momentum behind the league. Now, I will give it credit. Like, clearly we're doing something right on the airwaves with a few games over 1 million people tuning in, and that's great. But there is a disconnect here, and I'm not saying it's just the fans' fault. I'm also saying it is maybe a intentional game day experience. I mean, it is crazy. The one time I drove my buddies there, I drove Pat there, and we had to park in like a marina that he has a boat at because everything else was between $60 and $80. That was within like a couple blocks of.
Is that more than the game ticket was?
Yeah,
That's wild.
the game. I mean, it's affordable to go to the games. You can get in for. There's all kinds of promotions. You can get tickets for $10, and then if you want like a really nice, it's still 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 if you want to stretch it. Like, it's affordable to go to the game. It's affordable to go in the game. It's not affordable to go to the game. So there's just a disconnect there. Like, I really want, and I believe that Rowdy Audi can be the example for the United Football League. But we did see a decline. And listen, the United Bowl was awesome. It was definitely packed. Again, there was probably about 17 plus thousand people there. It was an awesome atmosphere, and we showed out for the United Bowl. But I would love to see that too if we're playing the Blackhawks in a tough game that decides the division, or the Kings after they had just beat us. Whatever that looks like. That's my D for disconnect. My D grade
Mm,
goes to a
mm.
disconnect between.
I've got some notes for your D grade. So I think part of the issue is they're trying to sell the ticket sales strategy is more in line with football, American football, like NFL style, where they're trying to sell per game. I think there needs to be a bigger push for following a NBA type of ticket sales strategy where you've got your single game tickets, you got your partial season ticket, you've got your group ticket. Like what a great thing to do on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon than to go out as a group of 10 to 20 to 30 and be a part of the beer snake if everyone's of age, or have 10 to 20, 30 of your youth football players damn near on the sideline of a UFL game, right? If they can be behind the sideline and seeing the interactions and seeing the game up close and chirping the players from the Blackhawks or from the Kings or from the Aviators, if you're on that side, or screaming your head off. Kids get so excited to be able to just be around any professional athlete. They don't give a shit if you're in the UFL or the NFL. Sure, they care a little bit more seeing the Eagles versus the Defenders, but like it's going to be exciting no matter what. It's an affordable ticket. You wrap those ticket prices, you wrap those parking passes, and you wrap some food and drink into one packet. Sell it as a family of four pass. I think they just got to get a little bit more strategic on how they're selling those tickets because it's a great show. It's a great show. Um, there's definitely interest. I was surprised even going back to FanFest how many people did know about the UFL
Yeah,
and specifically like even without prompting brought up the DC Defenders. I think that happened two or three times.
yeah, the one.
So there's a good product.
Yeah,
They've got a product. They've just got to work on the distribution of that product.
I want to. You got me really thinking of something, and I think from experience, if you're not plugged in, I guess you wouldn't know. But like, I'll use the Eagles as an example. They do a really good job of involving local high school programs and local youth programs. And once you're plugged into them, they are very generous in giving
Yep.
their time. And listen, I truly believe it's for a good reason and with a good heart. Shout out Brendan Clark, who's been awesome to us and supported all our initiatives in our programs. But also, and I don't mean to, I'm not going to mince words here. They are breeding fans.
Yeah.
They are breeding fans. If you're a youth player or a high school player, I can think of some of ours that were at an Eagles practice and got handed a glove or a signed
A
cleat
sweaty glove.
from whatever player, you are locked into that team for life. So I
Yeah.
think that's what I hear you saying is, I don't know how much, shout out the communications team, formerly Drew McDonald, Sarah Littlejohn, awesome to us. If there's an extension of that, that's like a community relations branch that is truly intentional about bringing in or involving local high schools, local youth programs, you're raising Defenders fans.
Generations of them.
You're raising Defenders fans by bringing them in at that age. I think that's the move. I think it's
Short term and long term benefits.
I think that's your consultant was coming out, my educator's coming out. They need to hire us, man. Concerted effort to the local youth programs and high school programs to raise Defenders fans, raise UFL fans. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in. Okay.
Love it. Bunch of kids running around shields up. What's your F grade?
Did you give your D?
Yeah. It was
Oh,
Coach.
Coach Harris, Coach Harris, Coach Harris.
Wasn't memorable enough for you?
No, the comments threw me off. You're right. F. I brought in a prop for this one.
Oh no, we've got the same one.
Well, this is
Yo, wait, before you go, I'm not gonna have an F grade. That was my only one. That's my only F grade, dude.
So
That jersey is wild.
this might look good in the camera. My $130 custom, shout out my A grade, Derek Roberson, number 50 jersey. But like the merch was insane. So started off the year, Rapoli comes in and he acknowledges the merch for this year is terrible. We're going to do better. And honestly, I feel like I wish they would have just waited. Like he said he was going to wait. It was going to come back better than ever next year. But there were 2 iterations where they tried to make right on the merch. They offered more, I would argue, too much and not like a core set of just good stuff. I do like these hats, but these are the on-field hats. Like this is what Coach Williams and Coach Kaiser were wearing.
That's got to look great. That's on
It's gonna look
TV.
great.
That's
They first launched the number 1 home jerseys for each franchise. But like I'm not really big into that. Like I want to tie a player or
and that's for those listening. That's just the number 1. Like
yeah, just number
it
1,
wasn't like a first edition jersey. It was every jersey for every team. They only had one number, and that number was 1.
just 1. And then I finally think that they hear us and there is an option to customize a jersey, which typically I'm a big jersey guy. So typically in my world that costs an extra $50, $60, $70. And I see that it's $129.99, which for like you being able to pick your player, I'm pretty happy about. So I'm like, you know what? Derek Roberson, I'm gonna chronicle this season. First time they're letting this jersey. I got my Derek Roberson number 50 jersey. And it came in the mail. And again, you can't like see it on the camera as well. But it's just busy. Like there's just so much going on. So it by nature a sublimated jersey. So the defenders is sublimated into the fabric. The stars and the stripes on the sleeves are sublimated. Okay. Then the UFL logo, the New Era logo, the No Bull logo are stitched. Like stitched embroidered patches.
So one is smooth when you touch it. One is like actually raised up and stitched
Raised up.
onto the fabric. Okay.
And then there's a third aspect in that Roberson, 50 on the back and 50 on the front are screen printed. Like there's texture to it, but that texture that like won't last, like not good quality texture. So you have like even if you did 2, I'd be
Yeah, like a sublimation and the stitch, or the screen press and the stitch.
yeah. But just
Those make sense. But like 3 different is crazy. The fit on the jerseys isn't great.
yeah. And I know I'm a weird size because I'm a bigger guy with not I'm not like the most tall. I don't have the longest arms. So like 2X torso, 1X arms. But they're like it looks almost like a baseball.
Dude, you own a lot of jerseys.
And
What
not
was the streak you went? You went 37 days
good.
after the Eagles Super Bowl without.
I believe it was low 40s or mid 40s. I know
Jeez Louise.
after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I wore a different Eagles jersey to school for I think it was 43 days when I decided to stop. I think I had to wear a shirt and tie for something.
43 days. That's 43 jerseys, no repeats. You got a lot of jerseys.
And none fit me
That one's got to be probably among the worst quality, no?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, besides the ones that like the niche ones I get that were like the 3rd level Reebok ones that are just
Kevin Curtis wore in 2004.
You do have a Kevin Curtis blue and yellow one, but that one I like that one.
So hideous. I can't believe that someone made that, but I can believe that you spent money on it.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely top or rather bottom percentile of ugly jerseys. This I mean, I'm glad I have it for the history books, honestly. I mean, I hope that Mike Rapoli and team hear this and make their jerseys better at an affordable clip. But like, I mean, there's a guy, I forget I forgive me for forgetting his name. I think it might be Jason on the Facebook group who like has these custom bootlegs made that actually turn out really nice. And I was considering like getting and he has like different color schemes. I was going to get like a black Derek Roberson one to be like Zorro anti-hero. That would have been hard. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to get the first ever custom UFL official jersey. And it came like, like they were just confused. Like, how do you you think you're trying to save money, do this and there, you go through 3 processes. You have the sublimation, the stitching up top, and then the like bootleg high school tech ed class screen printing on the front and back, like you're making a little league jersey. That's really what it is. It's like that type of printing. It's like you put it on,
Yeah.
like for your kid's little league team, you put Marsden or Holbert on the back. So anyway,
That's a great F grade. I originally had that as mine, but as we're closing out the show and kind of putting a bow on this season, I've got one more F grade to give.
okay.
And it's to the freaking stinking Seattle Blackhawks. F grade. Just because.
I almost cursed.
Yeah, I know. I felt it.
I almost lost myself. Right? I'm potting with emotion right now. I'm not potting emotionally. Myself.
It's a fantastic callback, and F the Blackhawks. F
all the way
F
back to Seattle.
all the way back to Seattle. From St. Louis to Seattle.
you
Get him out of here.
Hakeem Butler, you don't deserve him. Could you imagine? Oh my God, get all colors of Hakeem Butler defenders.
Oh my God! All right, the real F is your Hakeem Butler glaze.
Hakeem Butler.
We had to create a whole award, a weekly award for the Hakeem Butler glaze of the week.
He's so good.
He is very good at football.
Put him at
All right, well, that was my last grade. Do we want to recap real quick what our grades were, A through F?
Yeah, I'll go through mine in a row. Just hit them, and then you hit yours. So my B grade was Derek Roberson. My B grade was the non-quarterback position groups and their balance and whatnot, the wide receivers, the O-line, and the running back room. My C was Joe Wallace's leadership. My D grade was the disconnect, the fan engagement disconnect, and then you targeted connection with the youth programs and high school programs to build fans. And then my F grade is the merch, specifically this gosh darn relic.
Stop showing it. Stop showing it.
Roberson jersey that has stitching, sublimation, and local little league. Pay an extra $10 to get your kid's name on the back of their jersey. Or honestly, you know what it's like? It's like those jerseys your parents could buy in the 2000s that were like fan jerseys that they could wear to your high school games that like just said your name. It was just like
the letters were not always in a straight line, or they might be leaning a little bit, a lot of italics.
I'll make you a jersey that you can wear to the game to support your kid. That's what we got here. Derek Roberson is not my child.
Not your son.
He is Jack the Plumber's daddy.
Hey, yeah, he is.
And
all right, so my
daddy's in some multiverses.
My grades A++. Coach Keiss, what a performance. My B grade was to the QB room and their resilience as a unit. My C grade was to Matt McCrane, that big old leg that just sometimes couldn't get it done from 30 to 40 yards. My D grade was Coach Harris. Not all of your performance as a coach, your end of half, end of game strategies. I think they could use some critiquing, some upskilling. And my F grade, one gave 2 Fs. I second your F for that abominable jersey, and F the Seattle Blackhawks.
Yeah, just F them. F to them and F them. All the way back.
All right, let's get to the final whistle with the two.
You have a meeting at 10, correct?
Yes, I do.
Whistle. Something your parents told you as a kid that just seems ridiculous now, that you believe.
Oh, my God. Oh, there's one that makes me so angry.
Oh, man.
You know how old I was when I realized that you don't go blind as a driver if the light is on inside the car? You know, the inside car light that you can push right here?
Yeah.
My parents told me that you can't see when you're driving if that light is on. That's not true. And I'm not alone on that. I know a lot of other millennials who parents
You're hurt.
told them this lie.
Those boomers.
Those boomers lied to those millennials. That is the one. That's the first one that comes to mind. I'm sure I could think of others, but that one about the light in the car, I never understood it as a kid. I don't understand it as an adult. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't know how multiple parents were telling the same lie.
Mm.
What do you have?
Honestly, like nothing really rages me, but this is honestly kind of embarrassing to admit. The thing that comes to mind for me, and again, this alludes to being an only child. So I didn't have an older sibling to like bounce, or even a younger. I didn't have a sibling to bounce things off of, or an older sibling to tell me to get my crap together. But my parents, it wasn't just Santa Claus for me. It was every mythical holiday creature. Okay, so I had Santa Claus, which I hope to raise my kids under the guise of Santa Claus for a while. I haven't determined what age yet, but what have
15, 16.
yeah. Oh, okay, no, because I think I fell victim to like 13, and I got tortured for it. But I also had the Tooth Fairy.
Okay.
Whenever I lose a tooth, I had Cupid on Valentine's
Dude,
Day. I had the Easter Bunny on Easter, and I had the Great Pumpkin on Halloween.
you got too much.
I know that's too much. That's
You
busy.
can't, I don't even know how you have enough imaginary space for all that.
I know. My parents love me, and I love them, and they were
So everyone else's parents don't.
What? No, what? No, I didn't say that. No, I'm just saying. I was about to criticize them. That's why I laid that.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
I laid that a buffer there. But man, what was that? 5 mythical beings
Yeah, it's a lot.
is too much. You got to put all your eggs in one basket. Pun intended.
One Easter egg basket.
Yeah. Um, just thinking in retrospect, like wow, like I just got duped 5 times a year by mythical beings.
Dang. 5 times a year, every year, knowing it's coming.
Yeah.
I guess like it's better you didn't have like your own Puxatawny Phil for Groundhog's Day.
Oh, I didn't have him. No, okay,
So that's a bonus. There's a win.
yeah.
I don't have a final whistle that's gonna top that one, so I'm gonna just let it lie
Yeah, I mean,
with yours right there.
so I think I'm going to learn from that and not have 5 mythical beings. What do you think is the biggest stretch out of those 5? The Great Pumpkin?
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
The Great
The
Pumpkin.
rest of them I could have been like, oh cool, like those are the ones I guess. The gray pumpkin or the great
The
pumpkin?
Great Pumpkin is from Charlie Brown lore.
Wow.
Yeah.
And also from Robbie Martinson's childhood lore.
Yeah, so hey, maybe that's why I love talking to strangers and why I have all those voices in my head, but
Oh man. All right, let's get out of here before the voices get too loud.
no, they're mostly historical voices. They're based on primary sources. Primary sources like this Derek Roberson 2026 first ever custom UFL official jersey. There it is.
That's perfect. All right, y'all. Thank you for listening throughout the season. Like, subscribe, share, comment. We got to bring in a mailbag at some point, so we got to figure that out so we can start getting some listener engagement up.
Yeah, like
But
questions in the DMs, maybe.
yeah, throw the questions in the DMs for now
Flash Shields
until
Flag
we get a more structured way to do the DM, do the mailbag. But start sending us your questions, your comments, your concerns. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, shields up, mics down. Peace.
Bye bye.